I've never had anything R-rated before. Nothing. Even my life isn't R-rated.
Hey there, it's Kristen, and today we are talking with none other than R.L. Stine, the king of children's horror, and honestly, king of franchises. Man is killing it. And today we're talking about his new horror anthology, Just Beyond, that just premiered on Disney+, as well as what it was like seeing the success of Fear Street over the past summer. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Not only are you like the king of children's horror, but you're the king of franchises. It's amazing how many beloved series you've created.
No one ever called me that before. I like that. The king of franchises.
Yeah, Goosebumps, Fear Street, Haunting Hour. So I'd love to hear about where the inspiration for the Just Beyond comics came from and why this was the right choice to adapt next.
I was at San Diego Comic-Con a couple summers ago, back when people went to Comic-Cons. And this editor from Boom Studios, the comic book company in LA. And we started talking and he said, you've done all this stuff. You've done everything, but you've never done a graphic novel. And I said, you're right. And we kept talking and me, eventually I always say yes to everything, right? That's how I ended up doing Garbage Pail Kids books. I say yes to everything. And he said, okay, let's do some graphic novels since you've never done it. And we came up with the name Just Beyond, just beyond reality, just beyond the normal world. And I've written 4 of them so far. The 4th one comes out next month. It's called Monstrosity. It's about a horror movie studio back in the 50s where everything goes wrong. And anyway, that's where Just Beyond came from. And then they went and talked to Seth Grahame-Smith and said, would you like to adapt these shows for television? And he went to work. And Kristen, I'm the world's biggest Disney fan. I love Disney. My son Matt was so spoiled. We used to go down to Disney World at least 3 times a year because I like it so much. So what a thrill for me to be back with Disney.
And now, since you've done 4 so far, did you guys adapt those 4 or were you kind of just taking inspiration?
Seth just captured the spirit of the graphic novels and of course from Goosebumps and, everything that came before. And they did all original stories, all brand new stories.
Speaking of Goosebumps, what I thought was so cool was that little Easter egg we get of one of the kids wearing a Goosebumps shirt in one of the episodes. So do you think that there are other Easter eggs hidden in there that reference your other projects?
I don't think so. I was kind of surprised by that. That was fun. No, they sneaked in some actors that people will recognize, but I don't think there are any other references to me.
Were there any actors that you found out were joining this project that you were just really excited about?
I will just tell you seriously that all the young actors who appear on this are just superb. They're just wonderful. And there was a very fast schedule on these 8 shows. And I think they spent maybe 2 weeks per episode. And these kids came in and just did a terrific job. And you look at performance after performance, they're wonderful actors.
Were there any stories that stood out to you where you were like, oh, wow, that's a pretty good one?
I love the one with the witch. It's called Witch Witch. I think that's a very funny script. It's about a high school and a girl is the only witch in the school. Witches exist. Her whole family comes from witches. Her cousin comes and she's even more of a witch and embarrasses her. And it's very clever, I thought, and very witty, which is what I always look for in a horror movie or horror TV show, something that's not just people being chopped up, but, has some humor to it.
That was one of my favorite ones, too.
I like this half-hour format, and then you go on to the next one. It's sort of like Goosebumps books. Mm-hmm. Everyone's different. Nothing continues. It's different kids in every book. In this series, you have science fiction stories, you have fantasy stories, you have alternate reality stories, you have supernatural, you get a little bit of everything, which I think is really nice.
Outside of Just Beyond, you guys recently just had Fear Street, do those 3 movies, incredible. What was that like to see that come to life in that response?
It was a horrible shock to me. I shouldn't say horrible, should I? I've never had anything R-rated before. Nothing. Even my life isn't R-rated. Nothing is R-rated. So to have this, these were, as I said, they were much scarier than Goosebumps and much scarier than Fear Street. But I was thrilled with the response. I mean, each one of them made #1 on Netflix. I'm just thrilled. So that's fun. They were very well made films for what they are. And I hope we do a bunch more.
I loved the storylines and the themes that you guys tackled. So I thought they did a really great job. And I loved the little Fear Street Easter eggs, the Robert Lawrence books.
How did I get to be a Robert Lawrence? I really don't get that. I don't know.
They're doing a little bit of everything in this show. You've done a little bit of everything. How do you not run out of ideas?
Don't say it. Run out of ideas? Come on. Yeah, I don't know. That's just luck. Every time I need a new idea, somehow I get it. I think it's just luck.
What's the key that you would say to writing horror for all ages?
For me, it's surprises. It's a lot of surprises. It's not your story can't be predictable. You can't predict what's going to happen.
If you like this one, you can check out more of my interviews right over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.